Welcome to Brett Ridgeway's Learning for Life Hammered Dulcimer Lessons, and in this lesson we're going to be learning a tune called John Bryan's Polka, which we will be using as our next series of jam tunes. We'll do a slow tune, a slow jam, an intermediate jam, and work our way up to that fast jam. So make sure you learn this one well. I hope you're learning them all well. And before we start, I want to thank my patrons who are giving to this program, who are making these lessons possible. This is a full-time job for me. One I'm not really getting paid for at all. I'm offering these lessons free of charge. The income that I do make from these are simply from the patrons. And it is the patrons who are actually helping me pay my bills. It's the patrons who are making these lessons free and available. It's the patrons who are giving me the time and the ability to make these lessons. So if you're taking these lessons, it's because somebody is paying and giving back and making that possible for you. So thank you, patrons. Thank you to anyone who might consider becoming a patron. Becoming a patron is very important to this program. There are perks for the patrons. Patrons actually get an extra lesson a month that is not available to everyone else, along with workshops and other things of that nature, depending on where you subscribe as a patron. So I would appreciate that. Also, I'd ask you to share these videos. If you look at the bottom right hand of your screen, if you would hit the little thumbs up down there, I would appreciate that. That would really help a lot with my search engine and with YouTube, helping me in their ratings as well. So we're going to get started with the tune. And again, it's not hard at all, a lot of repetition. And it's a lot of fun to play. This is actually a song that features or allows other instruments to be featured, and a great jam tune. So we're going to start with our left hand on D on the left side of our treble bridge. Our right hand will be on F sharp on the right side of the treble bridge. And you're simply striking those two notes together. And you play that twice. Then your right hand is going to go to the left side of the treble bridge. It's going to catch this B. Your left hand is going to play C sharp. Your right hand's going to play D, so you're just going straight up. And then your left hand drops back down to the B. Do that a few times from the beginning. Then your right hand is going to catch this A on the right side of the treble bridge, and your left hand is going to catch that F sharp, and then A, F sharp. So here's your first phrase. Make sure that's memorized. One more time. So if I ask you to play that by memory, can you do that? And I'm hoping so. And if you can't, stop the video right now and make sure that you can play that without thinking about it by memory. So our second phrase is almost like the first phrase, with the exception of the last two notes. So here's our second phrase. Actually, our last three notes. So here's our first phrase. Here's our second phrase. So you're catching that A with your right, dropping to the F sharp with your left. Your right comes down and catches E. Left hand comes down and catches D. So you're just playing that A, skipping the G, F sharp, E, D. So here's your second phrase. Make sure you follow the timing. So let's play those two phrases together. Second phrase. Your third phrase is exactly like your first phrase. Actually, it's not. You don't play that last note. So you're going to play the A, the F sharp, and you're going to leave it on the A. So here's your third phrase. So let's play all three phrases. Second phrase. Third phrase. And you leave it on that A. And we've played this ending on other tunes. It's a very common fiddle tune ending. But you're going to play, your right hand's going to start her on this D. You're going to play D, E, F sharp. Right, left, right. Your left hand's coming down to the D. Sorry, your right hand's catching the E. Your left hand's catching the C sharp. So again. You do a 3-note run up starting on the D. Skip 1. Go up 1. Skip 1. Go up 1. Let's call those out again. D, E, F sharp, D, E, C sharp, D. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And if you want to put a little tag on the end, you can play, you're playing in this diamond, you could play A, F sharp, D. You could even do it this way. Keeping the left hand on the D, letting your right hand follow that triangle. You can even just go straight across. D, A, D. So you have a lot of different ways to end that. So from the very beginning, here is your first phrase. Second phrase. Third phrase. Here's your fourth. Tag. Now, I had a student one time write me, she was doing the 10-minute lesson, and she said, I think I'm ready to move on to the next 10-minute segment. And I said, well, you said, do you think or do you know? And she said, I think. And I said, well, and I'm getting this from a book where they were talking about this. I says, can you play it blindfolded, sing the Pledge of Allegiance, standing on one leg? And she went, no. And I said, maybe you should practice it a little bit more. So my point of that is this: before you move on, make sure you can play this much. It's not a race. You want to get it down. It's not about how many songs you know. It's how well you know what you do know, the songs that you do know. So you're going to simply repeat that. So here's our first phrase. Oh, sorry. Try to know it better than that. Repeat. that is part A of John Ryan's polka. Make sure that's all memorized. Then we're going to go so you can go so the melody note, you're going to catch it with your left hand, is this F sharp, and you can catch this A if you want, but your melody is this F sharp, D, D, F sharp, D, D. But you can start off, if you want a little punch in there, you can catch this F sharp and A, or this F sharp and D, whatever you want to do. Then your right hand's going to play E, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Listen to the timing. You're just climbing up, coming back down. Again, F sharp, D, D, E, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D. That's your first phrase. Make sure that's memorized. Here's your second phrase. Notice how it starts the same way. Sorry. So you're catching the F sharp, D, D. E, F sharp, G, F sharp, A. Let's do that again. Or you can use your left there. That's your second phrase. Let's put those two phrases together. One more time. Here's your third phrase. Now, that's almost like the first phrase, but you're not coming down to this D. So here's your first phrase. Here's your third phrase. You're just not coming down. So let's put all three phrases together. Make sure that you break these apart, that you memorize these. Third phrase. And then your last phrase of part B is the same ending as the last phrase of part A. And that's why it's so important to memorize this a phrase at a time. But I'll talk you through it. You're playing D, E, F sharp, D, E, C sharp, D with your little tag. Or, so you can see I could change the rhythm there. So here's all of part B. And then you'd repeat that. So let's play the whole thing from the beginning. I'm going to play it very, very slowly. Second part. So, I'm not sure if I repeated that twice. Let me just give you a real quick rundown on something. If you were playing this in a jam, everybody would play this. And then let's say the hammer dulcimer would play this. Everybody, hammer dulcimer. Everybody, hammer dulcimer. Everybody. If you're playing in a jam, hammer dulcimer, everybody would do this. And maybe the banjos would go, you know, that part. Then so if you're playing backup for hammer dulcimer, here's what you're playing. And really what you want to do is you want to kill that sound. Now if you have dampers, that's even better. The reason you want to kill the sound is because if the mountain dulcimer or the banjo or the fiddle or something is doing that fill-in part, and we'll talk about this as we go into the jamming part of it, you don't want your hammer dulcimer, the overtones to ring and muddy up what they're trying to play. So when you play this, you want to kill it as quickly as possible. If you use your hands, if you have dampers, you can just use your hands so that the mandolin or whatever can have their little lead time. So one more time, all the way through. So, and by the way, I have this on a CD. I think it's Tools of the Trade, where I'm playing this using 4 or 5 different instruments, and I'm actually playing all of the instruments, putting them all together to get the full effect of the song. So again, I hope you enjoyed that. It's a fun tune to learn, very fun tune to learn, one of my favorites. Make sure you memorize this, and we'll again turn this into a jam series of lessons. And I'm hoping, again, you're having fun. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, patrons. We will see you next week on your next lesson.